EastEnders viewers are increasingly worried about Penny Branning following the latest episode, with some fans now convinced that the character could be heading towards a heartbreaking fate. Penny was caught up in a frightening medical emergency, and although she and her unborn child were fortunately left safe, one remark she made during the crisis has sparked fresh fears that something much worse could happen. With the mysterious New Year flash-forward still raising questions across Walford, fans are now asking whether Penny will actually be there when the celebrations arrive. Penny suffered a blood clot that placed both her life and the safety of her unborn baby in danger. She had been spending time with her uncle Max when she suddenly started coughing up a significant amount of blood, prompting him to get her to hospital as quickly as possible. Medical staff later revealed that Penny had developed a blood clot, but thankfully, checks showed that both she and her baby were doing okay. The frightening incident encouraged Penny to promise that she would be more careful with her health. However, while Max was speaking to the hospital on the phone, Penny said something that immediately made viewers suspicious. She told Max that if something went wrong, they needed to make sure the baby was saved. For many viewers, the statement sounded too deliberate to simply be an emotional comment made during a crisis. The reason behind the concern is the New Year flash-forward, which showed Penny's father Jack caring for a baby named Ethan, while Penny was noticeably absent from the scenes. Now, after Penny's recent health scare and her warning about protecting the baby, fans are questioning whether the soap may have quietly revealed another hint about her possible fate. Some viewers took to X after the episode to share their theories, with several believing that Penny's words could have been deliberate foreshadowing. One fan commented that Penny's latest storyline felt like death foreshadowing and pleaded with the soap not to kill her before the flash-forward. Another viewer pointed out the obvious flash-forward clues, especially after Penny was shown coughing up blood. A third fan said they were becoming convinced that Penny could be gone by the time New Year arrives. Another viewer wondered whether a further blood clot could ultimately lead to tragedy, particularly if Penny experiences complications after giving birth. One particularly concerned fan admitted they would be devastated if Penny were killed off, and said the possibility was genuinely frightening. At this stage, nothing has officially confirmed what lies ahead for Penny, but her latest scenes have certainly given viewers plenty of reasons to be concerned. With Penny's absence from the New Year flash-forward still unexplained, fans will have to wait for future episodes to discover whether she is truly facing a tragic outcome. EastEnders is set to reveal a heartbreaking secret about newcomer Darnell Larson Jr. as his dramatic arrival in Walford approaches, with the character becoming closely connected to Denise Fox's ongoing storyline. Actor Christopher Colquhoun has teased an emotional detail from Darnell's past, suggesting that his first appearance could bring plenty of tension as he becomes involved in Denise's fight for survival. The BBC soap recently confirmed that 2 new faces would be introduced to the square as part of Denise's storyline after she was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, a serious and aggressive type of blood cancer. In next week's episodes, Denise's condition takes a worrying turn when she falls into a coma, leaving her family desperately searching for a suitable stem cell donor. A potential breakthrough eventually emerges when the family discovers that Denise's previously unknown half-brother could be a possible match. The family manages to locate Darnell, and Kim reaches out to him in the hope that he will agree to help. Darnell is stunned when he learns that his involvement could make the difference between life and death for Denise. Although he initially agrees to visit the hospital, Darnell becomes overwhelmed by the situation and suddenly backs out, leaving in a hurry. Jack later manages to track Darnell down and attempts to convince him to return and help Denise. However, when Jack finds him with his daughter Grace, the meeting quickly becomes tense and emotions begin to rise. Describing Darnell, Colquhoun explained that he is a science-loving single father who has a slightly nerdy personality and tends to be anxious, curious, and extremely enthusiastic. The actor also revealed that Darnell is genuinely thrilled to discover a previously unknown branch of his family. Because he is naturally trusting and open-minded, he does not immediately question why the family has suddenly contacted him. Instead, Darnell becomes fascinated by the opportunity to connect with relatives he never knew he had, almost forgetting the seriousness of the situation, because he becomes so caught up in the family discovery. However, everything changes once Darnell learns the real reason behind their search for him. After discovering Denise's cancer diagnosis, Darnell suddenly understands the seriousness of what is happening and begins to realize that his newly discovered sister is fighting for her life. Despite the shocking revelation, Darnell does not become angry about the truth being kept from him. Instead, he finds himself emotionally overwhelmed by the scale of Denise's condition. Colquhoun also teased that viewers will gradually learn more about Darnell's painful past, including the reason hospitals are such a difficult and emotionally triggering place for him. Darnell appears to have a good relationship with Jack, but he struggles when people try to force or intimidate him into making decisions. That creates a major problem for Jack, because Darnell could be Denise and her family's only remaining hope. With Denise's condition becoming increasingly critical, the pressure surrounding Darnell's decision is higher than ever. A rumoured new acting opportunity for Meghan Markle has sparked a wave of hilarious EastEnders theories, with fans joking that the Duchess of Sussex could soon be heading to Walford. A recent report claims that one reason Prince Harry and Meghan Markle may be considering a return to the UK is because Meghan has allegedly been offered a major acting role in a high-profile British production. That was enough to get EastEnders viewers joking that the former Suits actress could have secretly landed a contract with the BBC soap. Of course, the idea of Meghan becoming the newest resident of Albert Square is unlikely, but that has not stopped fans from having plenty of fun with the rumour. One viewer joked that Meghan could be the mysterious woman seen with Max Branning during the flash-forward. Another fan suggested that she might even turn out to be the person behind the gun attack shown in the flash-forward. A third viewer took the joke even further by creating a fake announcement claiming that Meghan was returning to Britain to join EastEnders as a glamorous American arriving in Walford with unfinished business at the Vic. Another fan imagined Meghan stepping out of a black cab as the new landlady of the Queen Vic, followed by the famous EastEnders drums, describing it as the ultimate television mic drop moment. Someone else came up with an even more unexpected theory, suggesting Meghan could return to the square as Sean Slater's long-lost half-sister. While Meghan is almost certainly not preparing to make her EastEnders debut, the BBC soap does have plenty of genuine new arrivals and returning faces lined up. Later this month, viewers will meet more members of Nicola Mitchell's extended family, after several relatives recently made their way to Walford, with one newcomer reportedly sharing an unexpected connection to an existing resident. Meanwhile, another legendary EastEnders character is preparing for a dramatic comeback. Janine Butcher, one of the soap's most iconic and unpredictable villains, is set to return to the square. The character has already been spotted filming scenes at a funeral and getting into a heated confrontation with her romantic rival, Linda Carter. But the biggest question remains unanswered. Whose funeral has brought Janine back to Walford? EastEnders is broadcast from Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One. Episodes are also available on BBC iPlayer, with most instalments being released early at 6 a.m. before they air on television.